Hi, my name is Sandy Goehring, and I'm a digital learning coach with KInL Learning. I'm coming to you today to share a coach's tip, tool, or idea for your toolbox that you can use in your classroom or to help grow your professional learning network. So today I wanted to introduce you to Wakelet. And Wakelet has tons of different things that you can do with it, but I wanted to share just a few ideas on how you could use it to enhance your classroom, to build your professional learning network, and to also collaborate with your team. So let me jump in and show you a little bit about Wakelet. So I really started using Wakelet this year because I was looking for a way to collect all of this information I was finding about how to grow as a virtual teacher and how to build these resources and keep these resources easy to find without using bookmarks. I have a lot of bookmarks that if they're not right in front of me, I forget to go back to them. So this to me started out as a great way to keep my bookmarks organized and keep those resources that I wanted to remember to come back to, whether it be for teaching or personal things, and turned into really this idea of how I can grow and collaborate with others on it. So as you can see, this is kind of what your Wakelet homepage looks like. And right now, like I said, I really just started using Wakelet this year. So I really use my two categories of virtual resources and virtual teaching. But then as you can see, I also have one, like I said, for personal things. So when I wanted to keep an idea or share a website with my sister that I wanted to make sure my nephews could use for their learning, I would add it to my sister's things. So let's jump into my virtual teaching. A couple of other things on this page you can see is it's just like every other place where you have kind of your name that you can follow. I don't follow a lot of people because right now I'm really trying to just push myself to use Wakelet more, but you can follow people. People can follow you if you have your board public. As you can see, these two are public and this one is private. You can also, it shows you how many collections you have, your bookmarks, and how many group collections. So let me jump into the one that I use the most, and that is my Love of Learning collection, or Love to Learn collection. And like I said, I really started building this when I was getting all of these resources and ideas to help support my learners, but I couldn't remember them and I couldn't keep track of them with bookmarks on my computer. So this was a great way for me to tag it. So as you can see, it's really set up, and you can set it up different ways. Like I mentioned before, it looks like Pinterest, it looks like your social media pages, but it's just a great way to keep all of these different resources organized. You can set it up different ways. So if I go into edit, I can change the way it looks if that makes me feel better. You can change your cover, change the name, and then you can change it into different layouts. I like the layout that I have because it gives me a brief description of the page, but there are lots of different options. You can make it a media view, so it looks just like streaming down. Again, it's kind of shorter, more compact descriptions, or not at all, but it doesn't give you as much of that big picture. Again, another short option. The grid view is great because, again, it helps you see a bigger picture of the different ones. But I really like I said, I really like that mood board. Kind of gives me that feel, makes it a little bit more fun for me to look at, and it gives me a little bit of the description. As I mentioned a couple of times, Wakelet to me really reminds me of visual bookmarks. So again, it's a lot different than just having these bookmarks up at the top or having to click on all of these bookmarks that I have saved. This gives me that visual reminder to come back to these bookmarks because there was something in there that I really liked that caught my attention that I wanted to keep. Let's talk a little bit now about how you can add different things to your board. So I'm going to go to Edit. So there are a lot of different things you can add to your collection. But let me just show you that basic one of if there's a website I want to remember. So I've already typed in the website Mystery Science, one that we use a lot, and I'm going to add the plus sign. I copied the website from before, and all I do is paste it. And then it adds it right away to my collection. So there it is. That way, when I'm done editing my collection, I can just click on that and it's going to take me right to that website. Again, a great way to remember, hey, let's go back to these websites. Some other things that you can add are text. So maybe I'm working on a collaboration with another teammate and I want to say, hey, make sure that we use the mystery science lesson in our plans this week. Real quick, real easy. I could add a link, but then it just drops that text right there. It's really quick, it's really simple, and that way if we were collaborating on this collection, then that reminder's always there. It can be edited, I can delete things. Let's talk about another one, an image. If you have an image that you have saved and you want to add to your collection, you just upload it right there. Again, it can be uploaded from your computer. You could have a GIF. You could have it connect to your Google Drive, but it's a great way to just add. So you can kind of see how you could build this collection based off of a unit of study that you are doing. Maybe you're studying the Revolutionary War and you've pulled all of these resources together for your students to come to, and you're leaving notes for them within the lesson, and you're having your teammates collaborate with you, and you're building this beautiful collection that has websites to look at for research. It has videos to check out. It has them a part where they're going to record or watch a video. It might even have a great little image that you've pulled for them to go into, look at, and do a writing lesson on. Great way to collect your ideas. You can use your bookmarks, a PDF. So as you can see, I've already dropped in a PDF. It will drop right in from your computer. And then when you are done, you can't click on it yet, but when you're done, then you can go back and look at it. And the other part I love is check out all these other apps that connect to it. Twitter, video from Flipgrid. You could record a video and drop it right into the collection. You can pull in YouTube videos, stuff in your drive, or if you use OneDrive. So once you are done adding to your collection and you click on done, then all of these links and resources become public and available for you to click on. So now that we're done, let's take a look at how this works. So if I am in here and I wanted to remember, okay, let's go back and take a look at that PDF that we talked about, or that I know I dropped in here on Number Talks. All I have to do is click on it, and it's going to download the PDF, and then it's there for me to look at. Maybe I wanted to go back to one of my saved websites. So I'm going to click on, oh yeah, the math, the problem of the day. Let's click on that one. Then it takes me right to that website. So again, start to think about how you could use this with your teammates, how students could use it, and how beneficial this would be for parents also. Remember that you can save a lot of different things to your collections. So we could have images in here. We could have videos that we want the kids to watch. All of these different things that we could do with our Wakelet collection. Let's talk about some other pieces that come with Wakelet. One part that I've kept talking about is how you can collaborate with others. So if I click on this invite button, you can see the different ways we can invite collaborators. If it's a student, maybe I'm going to copy and paste this into a Google Doc that says, today we're going to talk about the Revolutionary War. I want you to click on this link to take you to our Wakelet. And then they have access to all of those things in our Wakelet. Also a QR code. If you're having students come in and you want them to look at it on their personal devices or on their iPads, have them scan the QR code as they're entering in the room. And then you have the way of inviting a user or through email or somebody who has just followed your collection. So as you can see, these people here have followed my collection, but I can also type in any name I want to follow and join my collection. So think about how you could collaborate with your teammates. I keep thinking about what a great way this would be to plan for units, but then I also go into that professional learning community. How could we, after we talk about the data and determine the next steps for our students, how could we put Wakelet collections together to support our learners in that next step of your professional learning community? Another piece I want to show you, and again, this is a piece that I haven't used that often because I'm still trying to build my background with Wakelet, but I wanted to show you the showcase. So when you go to showcase, these are all of these different Wakelet collections that people have created. And part of joining the Wakelet community is you're constantly getting professional learning on it. You are getting asked to become Wakelet collaborators, to become a Wakelet contributor. So they give you lots of opportunity to join in their community of learning. But as you can see here, you have all of these people that have created these different Wakelet collections. So let's just take a look and see how some people have used theirs and then how we join that collection. So I am going to click on how to integrate Flipgrid into Wakelet. Great tools, both of them, Flipgrid and Wakelet. So when you click on the page, you're going to see how the person set up their Wakelet collection. So this is the collection about Flipgrid into Wakelet. And you can click on all of these different things. Here's an image that they wanted you to add and take a look at. Bookmark anything, organize and curate, collaborate and share. Different ways to use Wakelet. And then you also have different ways to embed Flipgrid into it. This is the one that I was talking about before. Record your video in Flipgrid and embed it right into your Wakelet page. Lots of cool ideas. So if I wanted to, I could go ahead and follow Joe, and then I would continue to get updates and see his information on this Wakelet collection. So remember, that's under Showcase, and there are tons and tons of different collections that you can check out. I definitely would encourage you sometime when you maybe have a little bit of downtime, whatever that might be, to come in and see some of these different ideas, because there are so many different ideas that you can get and you can add them all to your Wakelet page. Another thing that you can do when you're talking about following somebody is you can type in a search. So I'm going to type in Revolutionary War. We've been talking about that, and we have been trying to come up with some ideas for that. So it's pulling these collections that are already created on the Revolutionary War. So now that we've searched Revolutionary War, look at all of these great collections that have already been created for us. So we can click on one of these collections and see if this is going to be useful to what we need for our classroom. So let's take a look at, let's just start and take a look at the first one. I'm going to go back real quick. So we can see that this has 38 items in it. We can see who it was created by, and then they have the title, Revolutionary War Research Resources. So let's check and see. It's a cool way to start it, a cool background. This person definitely put some time into it. Looks like there is a read to me piece.
A collection of Revolutionary War research resources.
Great way for an accessibility part for our students that are English language learners, or maybe our students that have special needs that might need this read to them. We've got some different websites. She has it broken up into different parts. Lots of resources to check out. Again, think about how this could be useful to the students. I want you to go here and I want you to look at these different resources. You've got some search engines just for kids to make sure that they're searching safely, and some videos. So I think this is one I want to keep. So I'm going to go ahead and follow Carrie, and then I'm going to save this to bookmarks so that I know it's there when I want to come back to it. All right. And you know what? Maybe I'll like it, because why not? Give her a thumbs up. All right. And then if I wanted to, I could keep looking at these different collections and see what I wanted to keep. But as you can see, there are lots of Wakelet users that have already created collections. So why not use those, give them props for their hard work, and have it ready for your students or for your collaborative work or for your parents. So let's take a look now that I have liked that, where I find it. So to find the collection that I just bookmarked, I'm going to go down to my bookmarks. And I'm going to click on all my bookmarks. And as you can see, there are some different ones that I bookmarked, but look, there's my collection. So then I have the option to say add to a collection. So I'm going to go ahead and click on it and add to it. And I'm going to start a new collection called For the Students, just a quick one. Create it. And there it is. So obviously I'd want to come back to it, update it. But then remember, I could add this to a Google Doc with the website, and the students could click on it and go right to that collection. So there's, again, so many different ways that you can build your own collections. All right, the last part I want to talk about are some of the ideas that I've discussed during this video, and to think about ways that you might be able to use it in your own learning environment. So the first thing I want to think about is set up a grade level board. So maybe throughout the year with my team, we're going to have one grade level board that we are just going to keep adding the resources that we use all the time to. I think that's the other piece to really think about. If you get a board that's huge, you're never going to come back to all of those resources. So either think about how you can break it into smaller collections, or just only add those resources that you really want to use and remember. I also think with my teammates or with your teammates, you think about how could we set it up by units of study. So if we know we're getting ready to study nonfiction text, then we're going to really create our collection based all around just nonfiction text. And then we can come back to it every year and update it. Remember, teammates can add to the collection, but it's all right there. You could even have your nonfiction unit for students, your nonfiction unit for parents, and your nonfiction unit for collaborative learning. Like I said before, I think this would be a great tool to support your professional learning community. After you really look at that data that you are going to dissect and determine next steps for, and you are determining what do I do for those students that got the information and what do I need to do as a reteaching, create your collection for that. So then you have those two boards there. And if you're not able to collaboratively talk with your teammates ongoing, those boards are there for you to go back to and check out. I've talked a lot about how you could use this with parents. Think about creating a board that goes with what you're teaching in math. Parents always need a lot of support on how to teach the way we're teaching math now versus how we learned it. So think about creating that board with videos and sample lessons even that you've recorded, and embed that link into your newsletter. That right there is a quick, easy way for parents to get access to your collection and also be able to help support what you're teaching in the classroom. Again, I want to go back to the power of this for students. Having those collections based on what you're teaching, it keeps it all in one area so that you're not having to give them 5 different websites to click on and make sure you check out this video and watch this video and then use this picture. Just put it all into one space. Make it an easy spot for kids to come in and get to it, whether it's that QR code posted by the door. Hey, I want you to open up this collection first thing this morning, or click on the website that you have embedded into a Google Doc. When you do that, remember that's a great way to keep it safe for students. So you're not sending them out to just search for information that is not appropriate for students to be using. And the last thing that we always talk about as educators is how do we build our professional learning network? And this is another way to collaborate with educators across the world and to really learn from what they're doing in their own buildings, in their own environment, that you can pull and add to your space to help you grow as an educator. So hopefully you got some ideas on how to use Wakelet to grow your professional learning, to support your students, parents, and then collaborate with your teammates. I hope you got some ideas today on ways that you could use Wakelet. If you have any questions or if you want to share on ways that you're using it already, I'd love to hear about it. Tweet me at Sandy Goehring, and then make sure that you're following Keep Indiana Learning for even more professional learning opportunities on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Follow the YouTube channel, and make sure that you check out keepindianalearning.org. Have fun exploring Wakelet. Bye.